Alright, here's an overview of the Fed 2 camera. It's a Leica copy, Russian made. Pretty popular these days because it's a chance to get into a nice rangefinder type shooting mode for a fraction of the cost of buying a Leica. A lot of the parts are interchangeable. Even this lens right here is an M39 threaded lens, which will fit on a Leica. Anyway, this one here, the Fed 2, is probably about 50 to 60 years old. It was CLA'd, that's clean, lubricated, adjusted before I bought it, which was less than a year ago, and used it for a photo class, which was pretty sweet. Operates pretty smoothly. Everything seems to work on it. But I'll go through the disassembly for you, just so you can, see it in operation. If you want to take the lens off, all you got to do is just unthread it. Comes right off. To remove the back, you flip these two right here, turn them both in 180-degree direction, and you just slide the whole back and bottom right off of the camera. The reason I did this is so you can actually see this baby in operation. If you wanted to put film in here, it's pretty easy. You put your standard 35mm film cartridge in here, you pull it across, fit it into here, and you'll see right here there's a tab. You kind of just tuck your film leader right in there and turn it a little bit to get it started. Turn it all the way, you fire it, and that's about it. Then you put your back on. Anyway, the one thing that you want to remember about the Russian-made Leica cameras is there's one big rule. You always, no exception to the rule, want to cock your shutter before you change film speeds. I'm going to say that about 100 times because you want to remember that. You don't want to jam this baby up. You want to cock the shutter, and then you want to change your film speed. Whenever you're changing your film speed, second rule is, you can see it goes from 1/500th of a second to 1/250th, 1/125th, 1/60th of a second, 1/30th of a second, and down to B. So you always want to move in that direction. You do not want to go from 1/500th of a second to B. You just don't want to do that. You just, if you're on B setting and you want 1/500th of a second, just go all the way around past 1/30th, 60, 125, 250. Or if you're at 1/250th of a second and you want B, don't do that shortcut. Just take the long way. Okay, that'll keep your camera nice and healthy for many more decades to come. So right now we've got the shutter cocked, and change the film speed to 1/500th of a second, and you can hear it and see it's real nice and smooth. See that? You can see I've got no light leaks coming in through either shutter curtain, which is nice. So I'm going to go to 1/250th of a second. So again, I'm going to cock the shutter first, change the film speed. You hear it? Real nice. No delay or anything else in the shutter curtains. Real nice. I'm going to go all the way down the shutter speeds for you. Here's 1/25th of a second. And you see, with each time I go down, we're letting a little bit more light in. So 1/60th of a second. Let's go down to 1/30th of a second. You see, I keep remembering, shutter first. See that? 1/30th of a second, nice slow shutter speed for this camera model. It's working just real nice. Now your B setting would be, as long as you hold that shutter button, see that? Curtains stay open. Let it go, they close. Press it down and hold it. See? So as long as you want it to be open, it's open. Let it go, and it closes. Alright, now we do have a self-timer on this model. So the way to use the self-timer, you're going to cock your shutter. You're going to change your shutter speed. Let's make it 1/60th of a second. Okay, and to use the self-timer, we're going to ignore our shutter button up front here, on top of the camera. We're going to ignore that. You flip your camera around, and this is your self-timer right here. 180 degrees. Okay, and you ready? To activate the shutter, again, you ignore this button, and you're going to push this little button right in front that's on top of the self-timer. See, push that and you'll see the self-timer going down. Real nice. Alright, so let's try it again from the back. I want to use self-timer. So I'm going to wind the shutter. I'm going to adjust my shutter speeds if so I choose. But to remember, you use the self-timer, you're going to go the self-timer dial right here, and this button here whenever you're ready. So if I push that button, real nice. Okay, now you'll see that right there at the shutter button, there's two letters. It's kind of hard to see on the video here, but there's a B and a C. Now, right now, it is set to take pictures. Now, let's say you shot your roll of film, and now you want to take the film out, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to rotate that to the other setting. There you go. Over to B. All right, and then you can pull this up right here and see how it's turning inside. And that's how you do it. Whenever you turn this B or the C to the B, it releases the gears so your film doesn't get stuck or jammed in there. All right, now whenever you're done and then you take your film out of the camera, make sure that you put it back to C so you can start, you know, putting new film in and taking pictures again, okay? The other cool feature that's on this camera that you'll notice is you're going to see a lever right here that's next to your rewind button, and you're wondering, what is this? This is pretty cool. Depending on your eyes, because everybody's eyes are different and some people wear eyeglasses, what this is a dioptric adjuster. So what you do is you put your eye here to look through, and you just adjust this according to your eyes. So that's really nice for people who wear eyeglasses or people who have, you know, individual vision specs or whatever else. That's really about it on this camera. To focus, you're going to look through your rangefinder. Oh, let me put the lens back on first. Let's put this all back together. This slides in here. I'm going to lock this side, push tab down, turn that 180 degrees, push tab down. Okay. Lens, it's threaded only one way, so you really can't screw this up. Okay. Want your lens, there you go, adjust it down like that. See? All you gotta do is just 2-finger snug. You know, don't over tighten it, don't under tighten it, just a nice 2-finger snug, it'll be fine. Alright, but to focus on this camera, it's pretty easy, because now as I focus, you'll see that there's two images right in the middle, and basically just they're going to line up, and I tell you, it's impossible to see with the camera, but there's two images, and what they do is they come together, and as soon as they coincide with each other, boom, image is focused. Alright, you can see the lens moves really nice. The aperture dial is up front here. It's a little bit looser than what you're typically used to with more modern cameras, but at least it's smooth. So you can see the aperture opening and closing. That's real nice. Like I said, for my taste, it's a little bit too loose for me, but it seems to hold its position once you get it in, you know, gear there. The focusing ring, that actually seems pretty smooth all the way through. So let's say we put it in F8, just like it is now. What you'll see is right here is F8. And what these numbers are down here, that's your depth of field guide. So now that would tell me that at F8, you know, everything from roughly 8 meters all the way to infinity is going to be in focus. I think it's really about it on this camera. It does have a flash sync right here, if you do want to use a flash, because you can see here there's no flash sync like on a more modern camera, but you can mount a flash there. But what this would be is a flash sync cord, you know, to go to your camera. It's got strap lugs on it right here and right here. Has a standard tripod mount that fits pretty much all tripods, and that's about it. So that's a breakdown and a review of the Fed 2 camera, the Russian Leica copy. The Fed 2 seems to be the popular favorite of anyone looking, you know, to play around with the Rangefinder series. So, all right, thanks for watching, and enjoy.